I'm calling the meeting to order. Welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the best Rotary Club in the... Today's invocation will be by Becky Eldey.
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you today for this beautiful fall day, and thank you for our students of the month today and their path in life. And we praise and thank you for all that we're able to do for our community. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join us in the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And today's song is with...
You got the mic.
Becky. Hey, let's sing something patriotic since it's almost Veterans Day, Becky.
Veterans Day. Yeah. Let's sing God Bless America.
There you go.
God bless
America. Land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with gold. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home. All right, you may be seated. All right, besides our program and our students of the month, do we have any guests of Rotarians today? Any visiting Rotarians besides our program? Nope, okay. Welcome to everyone. Just a reminder to club members that we're still seeking nominations for our board vacancies. We have 2 more director positions that need to be filled. So far we have Becky Scrindy and Teak Martin have been nominated to fill those director positions, and we'd love to have at least 2 more folks nominated as soon as possible so we can get those into District 50-50. If you're interested, please let Sheena, Christine know. Feel free to shout out a nomination for your friend here. And please, if you've already served on the board, it's okay to serve again. We love our longstanding members. Okay. We are going to meet as the auction committee hopefully next week and start some preliminary discussions. And I will send out an email about that to the auction committee. So if you'd like to be included, just let me know and I'll include you on that email. Other club announcements, we have John Janicki with an announcement. Oh, don't forget, Zoom people can't hear you at all without the microphone.
Thank you, Becky. I am the head of the retention committee. And so we're having a meeting at 4 o'clock today, Janicki Industries office, where you guys normally have your board meetings on Ferry Street. Everybody is welcome. We're going to talk about retention and how to keep the club active and vibrant. Okay, thank you. It's 4 o'clock, Janicki Industries.
Thank you, John.
All right. Thank you. And then Becky, you wanted to talk about the Christmas party.
Yes, Christmas party's coming up really fast. December 1st, right here at 5:30. We're going to have heavy appetizers and beverages, and you're supposed to respond to me if you're going to make it, because I have to give the caterer Mike Janicki ×2. Okay, got ya. Anybody else just see me because I have a list going. All right.
Thank you, Becky. And any other announcements? Anyone? All right, then let's have our raffle. Rick and Sheena, bring it on home.
$33. Woohoo! That's how you start a raffle. And it's a legitimate number. Wine it is. $36.
Nice.
That was okay. And it's a bear. Okay, everybody ready to cheer? 10.
I feel like we need to cheer. Steve
Somebody needs help.
Huggins.
Steve
Yeah.
on Steve.
Thank you, Becky, for participating.
Wine. One more? One more if there's a good celebratory cheer for 27. How come you were already on your way here? Where's your number? We haven't verified this.
I feel like Carl was a little psychic there.
I think.
Yeah, that was crazy.
House.
Yay for me. Hal's driving. Everybody needs to go to Hal's like once a week. I mean, if you're not getting that calorie load that's so delicious, I'm telling you, you need to. All right, well, I'm Sergeant at Arms, and that's why I was on the way up there. So today we're going to talk about and reward entrepreneurs. And if you're talking, who's talking over here? This table pay $1 over here. Yeah. Tim, can you be my helper? And Daryl, can you be my helper at picking up money? It costs you that, Daryl. And it costs you $1 for that recognition. So be grateful that you're being recognized around here. All right. So if you have ever been in a business for more than 1 year, no fine. If you haven't, pay $1. So if you have never been in a business that lasted at least 1 year, pay $1. Okay, I said that backwards the first time to confuse you. All right. Is anybody thinking of being in a new business today? Does anybody have a new business idea today that they're thinking about? You got one. Okay, so Mike, pay $1 and you get to find whoever you want in the room for any reason except me.
I'm going to find my brother John because it's really his idea. He wants to build a mill in Eastern Washington. So that's $10 from John.
Anybody else want to start a new business? Any kind. It doesn't even have to. All right, John, you're starting a business, so you get to find whoever you want.
Oh, let me see here. Well, I think we should find Carrie. Yeah, because she's in the business of teaching kids, and so she's starting it every day. She's trying to figure out what to do for business. There you go.
How much is she? $1. All right. Okay. Has anybody ever had a business that failed? Oh, come on. All right. Well, real estate. Okay. So if you had a business, you should pay a happy buck if it failed because you don't have to deal with it anymore. All right. All right. So I need to talk. Raise your hand if you've never started a business of any kind. Mark Vin. Okay. Pay $1 and you find someone who's never started a business.
Well, you got to keep your hands up so I know who you are. Okay, Keith, I'll fine you $5 because we had a little almost a side wager last week on a political campaign in Anacortes. $5 for Bonnie.
All right. All right, Keith, you want a rebuttal for $1?
No, I think he's fully justified in the $5, and I'm not going to find back.
All right, for those of you listening at home, we tend to ignore you sometimes, and we don't mean to. So we want you guys to pay $2 for the privilege of being able to be in our meeting without being here. So thank you. It's really a good revenue generator, and we appreciate it. All right, any happy bucks? Any happy bucks? There's got to be some happy bucks. Oh, right here we go. Okay. Oh, I have one more fine coming, but you go first.
Oh, you can do your fine first.
Okay, so birthdays this month, $2. Anniversaries, $3. So I'm married. My birthday is this month, so that's $5 for me, and I'll pay $3 for Yulia because I married her, and she's not here today. So that's $8 for me. Here we go.
I have a happy 20, not only for Karsten, who you're going to meet here very shortly, but also we have 2 young ladies who are headed to the state swimming meet, Bella and Heather. And so just a happy 20 for an amazing weekend upcoming and also to celebrate Karsten. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was very generous. All right.
I just got some statistics the other day from my brother Peter. And I don't know what we put on for the, guessing the questions for the 2023, but we onboarded 400 people this year. And we brought on the company, and they did that through 16,000 applications they went through to get 400 people. Pretty excited. Building 10 is operational. There's a lot of people there working, and it's going really, really well, and our customers super happy. So there you go.
Thank you, John. Entrepreneurialism at its best.
Okay, as you probably know, that Saturday's Veterans Day, and I've got some happy bucks for John Smith and all the other veterans in the room here to celebrate Veterans Day and show our appreciation for your service to our country. Thank you.
What a great happy buck. Who else? Louis, veteran.
I got 2 happy bucks. One of them was for, and thanks to the high school, Carrie, they had the veterans ceremony this morning, and it was awesome. And the second happy buck is for my grandson, Mason Requay. He invited me to come, so I did. Thank you.
Schmitter.
Yeah, I got a happy 5 here. This morning I got up, had coffee, and guess what? Next thing I knew, I was behind the lock gates, traveling in the mountains with Mr. Mike Janicki. Thank you.
You know, that's pretty cool. You never know what you're going to find out there with Mike Janicki.
This meeting is recorded. Do not say or admit anything on record.
All right. I think we're good. Thank you guys for picking up the cash and give it to Steve, and back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Carl. So I'm going to hand it over to Miss Carrie Carlton, as she's going to do our Student of the Month.
Hello and good afternoon. First off, I want to share we do have another Student of the Month, and her name is Heather Santangelo. She's actually competing at the state swim meet. So they left this morning for Federal Way. And so Heather will be with us next month with our when we recognize our another 2 students. But I am just thrilled. I've been looking forward to this opportunity to celebrate the young man that's standing to my left. Karsten is, before I begin, I just want to share that there's been several emails in my tenure as he's been a freshman of just teachers and also staff members talking about a young man who, when no one is looking, pays attention and helps other people or students with special needs. And so I would randomly get a message, hey, did you see this happen? Or, hey, this young man did this to help this student. And so when I speak about the accolades that I'm about to share, there's so much depth and love that this person brings to our campus. And I'm really proud and excited to celebrate Karsten. He's our number 12 on the football field, and he carried the ball very well as quarterback and also defense. But I want to start with Karsten Reynolds. Karsten Reynolds is the son of Philip and Alicia Reynolds and Glenn and Stacy Slick of Sedro Woolley. Karsten maintains a 3.75 GPA while being actively involved at our high school. He is a multi-sport varsity athlete. He's lettered 2 years in basketball, 1 year in baseball, 1 year in track, and all 4 years in football. Karsten was the recipient of the Honorable Mention Northwest Conference Quarterback and Defensive Back Award in 2021 and 22, and again in 2022-23. He also is the recipient of this year Northwest Conference Most Valuable Player Award for not only offense, but also defense, and as well as being recognized on the state level for the Washington Player of the Week Award in this season. Outside of school, Karsten enjoys spending time with family and friends, hiking, weightlifting, traveling, and making music. He has previously held positions working at soccer tournaments, as well as landscaping, building retaining walls, and other miscellaneous general labor jobs. I want to share with you that Karsten was offered 2 full ride scholarships to 2 top universities. And so when I bring him to the microphone today, you are the first group audience to hear where he has decided to attend. And so you cannot share this news. It's like mum's the word. Even the admin team does not know at the high school. And I'm not sure if Mr. Owen knows. Yeah, okay, all right. So we will get in a lot of trouble if we share, like, hey, did you hear? No. Okay, so I'm going to have Karsten come to the microphone, share who's with him here today, celebrating his success, and also where he plans to go to college.
Hi, everybody. I'm Karsten, and today I'm here with my mom, Stacy, and my aunt, Sarah. And for the next 4 years, I'm continuing my athletic and academic scholarship at the University of South Dakota State. And I'm also studying to be I want to become a teacher, so that's my plan.
So I was almost going to say, no, you cannot snag him after he graduates from college, but now I get the honor to try and get him to work for our school district. So I'm really excited. Anyway, thank you for the honor to celebrate Karsten. Congratulations, Stacy and Sarah. And we're just thrilled for this opportunity to celebrate him. Thank you.
You know, I take photos at the football and basketball and pretty much every sport, but for the last 4 years, it's been a really big privilege to be able to focus in on number 12. You make my life as a photographer very easy because you don't let go of the ball. And when you're running, I can just hold that shutter down and it's just beautiful. So I've had the privilege of taking some amazing photos of you. If you want copies, let me know. I have some good ones. And, but also my kids have gone to school with you and they're both very, very shy kids and quiet. And I have never heard anything but high praise for your character. And I appreciate that as a mom, because you're not only a leader on the field, you're also a leader in the classroom and in the school. So it is very recognized. So great job. All right. So today we have Amanda Sloane from SPARC, who is going to be our program. And I think Becky is going to introduce her.
Thank you, Ruth. I have the honor today to introduce you to Amanda Sloane, who's been with part of SPARC, which is a Skagit Preschool Resource Center, since 2012. And most recently, she's been accepted as a role as the executive director since November of 2018. Amanda's professional experience has primarily been in behavioral health field, where she spent 15 years providing behavioral health counseling to adults. She also served for 2 years as the manager for North Sound Behavioral Health Ombuds Program. However, she's considered her most valuable experience to be that which she and her husband became parents of 2 talented children, both of whom have a diagnosis of autism. Amanda enjoys hiking, working in the yard, and spending time with family and their energetic Jack Russell. She's also a member of the Mount Vernon Noon Club, and she believes that we all have a purpose, regardless of our circumstances, and to always expect the best. Today, she'll be sharing with us about SPARC and why she loves her job and what SPARC is able to do for our community. Please help me give a warm welcome to Amanda.
Is it okay if I take this off? Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Becky, for inviting me. I'm gonna just start saying that I'm a little nervous because the last couple of times that I have spoken to a Rotary group, I left a member and not so, and I say this jokingly. So I am a member of the Mount Vernon Noon Club, but I also attend the Burlington Noon Club. I live in Burlington, so I want to support. So I don't have any more time for Rotary clubs, so don't get any ideas. All right. Thank you for having me today. And before I go in and talk about SPARC, I kind of want to share a little bit more about myself and why SPARC's mission is so important to me. As Becky mentioned, I worked 17 years in the behavioral health field, and I talked with adults kind of on a daily basis about what's going on in their life. And I noticed that there were 2 groups of individuals that would come in and see me. And granted, this is all very generalized, so take it as is, but I would have, I'd work with adults who all had either a diagnosis of schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, anxiety, you name it. I worked with them. And in one group, there would be individuals who would share with me the wonderful things that they had going on in their life, the opportunities that they got to participate in, maybe a new relationship or a new job opportunity, a new art project, anything positive that was going on in their life. The other group was quite different. It was very difficult to get them to talk about anything outside of their diagnosis. And they're really, they would walk away not attending to their treatment plan or anything that was recommended or suggested or what they even knew was good for them. So what I took from this experience was that we are more than our diagnosis. And when we understand that, we have really healthy and successful lives, and we're really a well-rounded individual and meet the goals that we have, all of us have. And so when my husband and I became parents and first learned that our child, who at the time was 3, had a developmental disability. Of course, after all of the loss and grief and shock of that news, we wanted to make sure that our children knew that they were more than this disability. And I have to say it wasn't always easy, but it is very powerful. And it is really the reason why I am so passionate about SPARC's mission. And I've seen with my own eyes how important early intervention and parent support is. So with that, I would like to share more about SPARC. I want to first start with an understanding of who my audience is. Who knows about SPARC already? All right, quite a few supporters of SPARC too, I see in the room. For those of you who are not familiar, I've never used these before, let's see here. Our mission really is to build the foundation for lifelong success, and we do this by providing services for families and their children who have a diagnosis or developmental delay or some kind of delay. And I've lost my notes here. I want to stay on track here. I guess in order to fully understand what we do, I would like to show you a short video. And it really talks about, well, it introduces you to a family here locally. Some of you might actually know the family. Do we have that ability? I do. Okay. There it's, yep. So before I started, and it starts, I think, right on 30, if you can, on 30 seconds. So, yes. So this is a story, Lucia's story. And so before I start, I just want to acknowledge how difficult it is to share your story, and especially at this early in their journey. And so if you happen to know them, just thank them for sharing their courage, their amazing story. And yeah, just respect the fact that they're sharing they're very vulnerable sharing their story. So let's go ahead. Thank you. I forgot to warn you that you probably need a tissue. I've seen this video so many times and it makes me tear up every time. But this is a great example of what our families are experiencing, and it affects all families. Many families in our community, depending on the different levels of care that we provide. And so is a great example of the spirit or the passion that SPARC has. And the passion that we have was carried forward by a group of parents back in 1964 who all had a child with a developmental disability. And of course, in 1964, there were not a lot of resources available in our community or in any community for people with disabilities. And so we were really paving the way in this area for individuals with disabilities. And in 1974, when the federal law passed where all schools needed to provide free and appropriate education, the Mount Vernon School District reached out to SPARC, since we were already doing this service, and asked us to provide their special education preschool services. So with Lucia, she was part of our Birth to 3 program, and then she moved into our preschool services. So interesting enough, so SPARC started with about 8 kids back in 1964, and we never received any state or federal funding to support the program, and they wouldn't support it until they were fully up and running. And so SPARC was supported by the community, by groups such as the Rotary. And you guys, back in 1964 made a huge difference in the lives of people in our community. So today, let's move back to the slideshow. Keeps me on track. So today we're funded by many different avenues. Our primary funding comes from the state of Washington for our Birth to 3 program, Skagit County Health Department, the Mount Vernon School District, a lot of private donors and grants that we write. And we are also contracted with all 5 MCOs so that we can bill insurance companies as well. So we've come a long ways. Let's see. I want to talk a little more in depth about our program. So as mentioned before, Lucia was part of our Birth to 3 program, which is services anywhere, like if a family knows that they're going to have a child with a developmental disability or a chronic medical condition in utero, we will start working with that family at that moment. And then as the child ages into their 3rd birthday, then they will transfer into our preschool program or to the school catchment area of where they would offer their preschool services. All of those services are free to low cost. And so when I say low cost, we are required to charge a copay or deductible if the family's insurance has that plan with that family. And so However, our fundraiser usually eliminates any cost or any barrier for any family. And so we really strive to make it free for all families. Our preschool service, let me share. So our Birth to 3 program, we offer Birth to 3 services in all cities in Skagit County, except for Sedro Woolley and Anacortes. The reason why we don't do Sedro Woolley is because the school district does it themselves, as well as Anacortes, the school district there also did it, but most recently turned that contract over to another nonprofit called STEPS. But we do Conway, Concrete, Burlington, Mount Vernon, and La Conner. So then, like I mentioned with our preschool services, this is open to all of our Mount Vernon residents who qualify for special education preschool services. And then also part of this program, we have what's called Sparklers program, which is where we open slots in our classrooms to the community so that we can provide an affordable preschool option for families. And this is a great way for us to make our classrooms inclusive. There's a lot of research that show that when we're learning amongst all abilities, we are just more well-rounded and we strive, and it's good for all of us. So SPARC is one of 18 neurodevelopment centers in the state of Washington. And what that means is that if a family is wanting services outside of the Birth to 3 or the preschool services, that is free of no charge. They are welcome to get additional therapy through SPARC, and we bill their insurance company for that. And then last but not least, we are we offer a parent-to-parent program, which is how I initially got connected with SPARC. SPARC, our Parent to Parent, is a national organization that supports families as well as professionals who are caring for someone with a disability. And so Parent to Parent is all of Skagit County, and it serves ages birth through end of life. And so it's not just SPARC kiddos. So I think we serve about 1,600 families and professionals right now through Parent to Parent. Okay, you might be wondering how you can connect with us, and there's really no wrong way. So we get most of our referrals from hospitals, from maybe daycare providers. Parents can just call. Neighbors, grandparents, anyone can call. If they call us and they happen to live in Sedro Woolley and they need to get services in Sedro Woolley, we just direct them in the right spot. So if you're unsure about what area we serve or don't serve, I would just have them call us anyway, and we'll get them on the right track if it's not us. And then, of course, we have lots of goals. I always it's hard to keep this short. So one of the things that SPARC is in need of is space. We have grown quite quickly over the last several years, and we are just busting at the seams. And so we currently have 6 locations, all located in Mount Vernon, and we need to stay in Mount Vernon because of our contract with the school district, but we would love to have a future home where all 6 of our locations can come together and be under one roof or on one campus. In this grand plan, we want to be able to open up all of our classrooms to have a 50-50% inclusive learning environment. And so this goal would ultimately help our community provide childcare and early learning opportunities for all of our community, not just Mount Vernon residents, and create affordable childcare within this plan. And one of our other needs is just having the professional staffing to operate. So SPARC hires special education teachers. We hire physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, and music therapists. We just hired a music therapist. And they're hard to find. And we compete with the school districts and or the hospital. It's just, there's not a lot of them. And SPARC has, for the most part, historically been a really great training opportunity for young professionals. And so instead of fighting it, I would like to embrace it. I'd like to become the training spot where we welcome students who are finishing up their college education and are looking for a wonderful opportunity to have that real life experience of finalizing their education. And so really being strategic about our new facility and making it a facility for training new professionals. We're always looking for more children, even though it's like a catch-22. Like, we want to serve as many as we can, but at the same time, we only have so much space right now. But we're always looking for opportunity to serve more kids. I already talked about our inclusive program, just making every classroom inclusive. And then also creating that before and after school care for our kiddos, really focusing on getting a safe place for children with disabilities to be, and that parents can go to work. One of the biggest issues for a lot of families is that there's not providers who know how to care for their child with any kind of special needs. And so oftentimes they get kicked out. There's been a lot of kids come our way because they've been kicked out of several preschools, which seems so weird to me that you would get kicked out of preschool, but it happens. And if you didn't notice, so we were formed in 64. So this coming year in 2024, we'll be celebrating our 60th anniversary. And so we're planning something fun, so be on the lookout for a fun event. We just opened up a new location. We're in the bottom of the Carnation building, downtown Mount Vernon. This is our new admin office, and we also opened up a space to expand our neuro program. So for those of you who are not aware, the Skagit Valley Hospital's Children's Therapy Program is also another neurodevelopment center here in this area. Their wait list, they're fantastic, by the way. That's where my children got services. And their wait list right now is anywhere between 400 to 500 kids. And those are kids who qualify for services and are not getting those services because there's just not enough services. You might have information on that too. And this just breaks my heart because early intervention is really key for success. And I didn't share this in the beginning, but when my child was 3, he was developmentally half of his age, and we just immersed ourselves in early intervention, either from the school district or from private therapy. We really thought we were going to be caring for this child for the rest of our life. And with intervention, that developmental gap decreased. And when he was able to actually learn to be able to communicate, we learned that he is quite intelligent and quite capable of doing great things. And he is now 18 years old. He graduated from high school with an AA degree, and he is now going to school to be an engineer. And that is far different than the outcome that we thought we were looking at, 15 years ago. And so it really is a great example of what earlier intervention can do. Oh, I don't know if I finished my thought. I'm sorry. So when we opened up our space at the Carnation building, where we have 2 OT rooms and 4 speech rooms, where we are now just trying to hire to make that program go. I don't think we're going to have any trouble finding clients. So, question. Yeah, so right now we have 8 classrooms, and we have a teacher for each classroom. And so the teacher is either a certified special ed teacher or a general teacher that is overseen by a SPED teacher. And in each classroom, we have about 2 to 3 IAs, depending on the student need. And then within each classroom, we have speech therapists or OT therapists coming in to serve students. We currently have 70 employees on our staff right now. Great question. Any other questions? Easy fix. Anyway, again, I like to think of SPARC as being the Mr. Jensen of Skagit County, because we really do like to find the possibilities amongst the challenges. And I think when professionals and parents all have that perspective of what are the abilities versus you seeing disability as a bad word, there's so much that can happen. And so that's our goal. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. We really appreciate it. And we have a pin in appreciation of you being our program today. So a few reminders. So retention committee tonight at 4 o'clock at the Janicki office, where we have our board meetings. Everyone should attend if they can, and let's get some ideas how we can get more people here and keep our membership strong. December 1st is our Christmas party. May 10th is the Rotary auction. We need 2 more directors nominated for next year's board. I'm going to president-elect training on December 2nd, so hopefully I can bring back some good ideas there. Thank you to Karsten and his family for attending today. We really appreciate it. Congratulations again for being selected for this honor. And before you leave, please, we need people to start stacking chairs at their tables. It's becoming a big job at the end of meetings because no one's stacking them. So please remember to stack them in, I think, 4s or 5s? 4s? 4 is better. All right. Thank you very much.